call us to be proactive in worship. All right, proactive. How? In what regards? Give me an ayat where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling you to be proactive. وسارعوا إلى مغفرة من ربكم وجنة عرضها السماوات والأرض أعدت للمتقين. Alright, that's one. Anything else? وفي ذلك فليتنافس المتنافسون. That for all of this reward that Allah mentioned in Surah Al-Mutaffifin about Jannah, He said what? After He mentioned the Rahiq al-Makhtum, فلذلك فليتنافس المتنافسون. So let the people, if they want to compete in something, let them compete for this. So a Muslim is not sitting back and waiting for things to come to him. Alright. Where we had, everybody knows the story about the three people that came into the masjid. And what happened? Where the Prophet ﷺ said, "Ala ukhbirukum bi nafar thalatha." Should I not inform you about the three people that came into the masjid? So you remember this, you know this hadith?
The one person, he came to the Prophet, he sat down.
He sat right up as close as he could get to the Prophet. So he said, فَأَحَدَهُمْ آوَى إِلَى اللَّهِ فَأَوَاهُ اللَّهُ. And so he went and he tried to seek nearness to Allah and get close, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brought him close and brought him to where he needed to be. And the second one, he sat where? He sat in the fringes, like the atraf al-majalis, the majlis, right? He kind of sat off to the back. So he said, وَأَحَدُهُمْ اسْتَحْيَا فَاسْتَحْيَا اللَّهُ مِنْهُ. He was shy. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he returned the shyness with being shy with him. And He didn't give him what he was seeking, right? Alright, and the third person, he got up and he left the masjid while the Prophet ﷺ was talking. The class was going on. Prophet's teaching the companions, and he got up and he left. So he said, وَأَمَّا الثَّالِث قَالَ فَأَعْرَضَ اللَّهُ عَنْهُ. So he turned his back and left, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala turned away from him, because he left the knowledge. So you see, but out of these three people, who got the biggest reward? The proactive one. The one that went up and got to the closest in the majlis that he could get. Assalamu alaikum. He could get as close as he could get in the majlis, and he's trying to benefit. So he's the proactive one. He's the one that gets, the benefit. He's the musabaq ila al-khayrat. All right. So he said, where did I stop? Allah has mentioned, called us to be proactive in worship, to take advantage of our health and free time to get closer to Allah. Health, and if I do publish this book again, like to do an update of this book, which I will have to do in the future because there's a lot of issues I left out. I'm going to have to include that hadith into this section because that's very important, inshallah. Alright, to take advantage of our health and free time to get closer to Allah. Health and free time are the two blessings that only the true believers in Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam take advantage of. We can see this in the following hadith. عن ابن عباس رضي الله عنهما قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم نعمتان مغبون فيهما كثير من الناس الصحة والفراغ. And this hadith is reported by Al-Bukhari. He said that the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم said نعمتان, two blessings, مغبون فيهما كثير من الناس. When the people have them, they never take full advantage of them. And what are these two blessings? Health and free time. Because you have your health, you have the energy to worship Allah, to memorize the Quran, to do all the extra acts of ibadah. And this goes back to we'll get to that hadith in a second. And then you have free time to do that. Where the Prophet ﷺ said, Ya ibn Adam. What did he say? Tafarragh li ibadati. Amla'u yadak what? Oh my God, I forgot the wording. I'm doing this a lot these days. It's the fasting. He said, asuddu hajatik wa amla qalbak ghina. He said, I will fulfill all your needs and I will fill your heart with what? Wa asuddu hajatik wa asuddu faqrak. I'm gonna, whatever poverty you have, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will take care of it. But he said, فَإِن لَمْ تَفْعَلْ فَإِلَّا تَفْعَلْ what? فَلَا أَصُدُّ حَاجَتِكَ لَا أَصُدُّ فَقْرَكَ. I won't keep poverty away from you. وَأَمْلَوْ يَدَيْكَ شُغَلًا. He said, and I will fill your hands with what? Things that just keep you at work, like things that keep you busy. They keep you busy because you had the opportunity to do what? And that's why he said, tafarrugh li ibadati. Tafarrugh means what?
Like make time for your...
Yeah, like make time that you dedicate only to the worship of Allah. That doesn't mean, like a lot of us do, when we're reading surahs that we memorized, and we're like, no, that's not tafarrugh. That's a joke, right? That's like basically just trying to do something as what? Like, yeah, like I have to do this, let me just do it, and I'm doing other things. No, tafarrugh means what? Dedicate that whole time. Whatever time that you allot for the worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is only for Allah. You're not answering the phone, you're not on Google, you're not talking to people, you're not dealing with anything. And if you do that, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will put the richness in your heart, and He will cure you of your whatever poverty or issues that you're having. Any haja that you have, any need that you have, He will get rid of it for you. He will take care of it. But if you don't do that and you don't allot that time, then what did He say? That He's not going to fulfill any of your needs. All your needs, what you see with all these people that get caught up in the dunya. What are they always busy with? Dunya. They're always something that they have to pay, something they have to do. They're always behind on something because they get caught up with so many things. Oh, hey, I gotta pay this, I gotta do this, oh, I gotta, he probably got some issue and he's gotta go to court for, or something else that he's gotta pay a ticket for, or what happens? He's running all over the place trying to take care of all these things, and now because he refused to have, when he had the free time, to use that time in the worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he didn't do it. So now he's like a chicken with his head cut off, running around chasing, just trying to cure these things in the dunya. And his hajat will never ever be what? Nah, he ends up in debt. He ends up in debt. Paying interest on the debt. And so he's just in a pit that he'll never be able to get out of. So here the Prophet ﷺ said these two blessings that the people never take advantage of. He has the health, as-sihha. He has the health to do these actions. Do them. You have the free time to do these actions. You have the health and the free time. Spend that like at least a point of time every day that you spend in the time of the worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that's why Ibn Umar, he said, in the hadith where the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said to him, he said, "Kun fi dunya ka'annaka what? Gharibun aw 'abiru sabil." All right, so be in the life of this world like you're a traveler, like you're like a stranger in the land, or a person just passing through. Just like if I'm traveling to San Francisco, but I need a rest. So I pass through Fresno and I get a hotel and I want to rest for like 2 or 3 days before I continue my traveling. This is called Abid or Sabil. I'm just passing through. So he said, be in the dunya just like you're like that. You're just passing through a town. So you're not setting up shop. You're not trying to yeah, exactly. You know that your time's coming. And you never know when it's coming. Then after that, the Ibn Umar said, فإذا أمسيت what? فلا تنتظر الصباح وإذا أصبحت فلا تنتظر المساء وخذ من صحتك لمرضك ومن حياتك لموتك. So he said, if you make it to the nighttime, don't expect to make it to the morning. And if you make it to the morning, don't expect to live to see the evening. He said, خذ من صحتك. Take the time that you have health. You have health and worship Allah and know that the time of your sickness is coming. La bud, it's going to happen. There's going to be a time that you're sick and you can't do those actions. So start doing them now. Because why is it important to start these habits of doing this worship now when you're healthy? Because what happens when you get sick? You can't do them. But if you are in a habit of doing these actions regularly while you're healthy, what does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you in that time of sickness?
The same reward as if you were going to.
You get the rewards for the actions that you were doing in your time of health. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala يكتب له ما كان يعمل صحيحا مقيما. So if you're traveling for a long period of time and you're unable to do these actions, Allah writes the reward for you for those actions that you were doing when you were at home. And when you get sick, Allah writes those rewards for you while you're sick. While you're sitting in bed getting sick, you can't do anything. You're still getting the reward because you were doing those things in your free time. And that's why he said, خُذْ مِنْ صِحَّتِكَ لِمَرَضِكَ. Know that now you have health, that one day you're going to get sick, so act now. وَخُذْ مِنْ حَيَاتِكَ لِمَوْتِكَ. And know that today that you're alive and be prepared for that your death is coming. So use the time that you're alive to do the things that you can do now, and don't wait around. So a Muslim is always proactive. He doesn't sit around and wait for the Mahdi to come, to start worshiping Allah. That Mahdi attitude is a failure attitude. Yeah, okay, if the Mahdi comes, we hope that we follow him and we fight with him and we follow, we're with him. But we're not going to sit around and wait for the Mahdi. We have the Quran and we have the Sunnah. What is the Mahdi going to teach us? What is he going to rule by? Yeah, but this is what people have. They have this Mahdi mentality. They're waiting for the leader to come and motivate us. Akhi, if you can't motivate yourself, then you're no good. Yeah, that's a loser attitude, Akhi. You have to be the motivation for the people. Us as Muslims, we should already be super motivated, ready to do the things that we're supposed to do. The kuffar should look at us and be like, whoa, we need to catch up to those guys. Look at them. They're serious. They're disciplined. They're all about their deen. I mean, wallahi, and what's going to happen in the last days? Why? You see that the Prophet ﷺ, he said what? يُنْزَعْ مِنْ قُلُوبِ أَعْدَائِكُمُ الْوَادِ الرُّعْبَ, and the khawf, that in the last days that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, like the fear that the enemies of Islam have for the Muslims is going to be taken out of their hearts. وَيُدْخِلُوا فِي قُلُوبِكُمُ الْوَهْنِ. And he said, and then this wahan will be put in the hearts of the Muslims. And then the Sahaba said, وَمَا وَحَنْ يَا رَسُولُ اللَّهِ. He said, what did they asked him? They said, what is this wahan that you're talking about? He said, حُبُّ الدُّنْيَا وَكَرَاهِيَةِ الْمَوْتِ. He said, love for the life of this world and hatred for what? For death. Because they're not preparing for it. You hate something that you're not prepared for. When somebody gives you to come up to this class and you didn't know there was an exam today, and the teacher says there's an exam today, you get angry. Why you get angry? Why do you hate that exam? Because you're not prepared for it. But if you sat there the last 3 months studying and preparing, you're ready for that exam. You're ready for it, and you're ready. You can't wait till the day to get into that room and get your number 2 pencil and your Scantron sheet, or however they do it nowadays. I'm still talking about the 90s. You're ready to take that exam. So the same thing with death. You see, like, we're not preparing for it. So of course we're gonna hate it, because we're not thinking about it. We're trying to do what? Trying to ignore it. Even though people are dying all around us, but we're just like, oh, that's him. Ain't gonna happen to me. I'm gonna live to be 85, 90 years old. Wallah. How many people do you know that had that same attitude? Yeah. Walked right out the house and, young people. And the majority of the people that I know that died didn't make it to see 40. And I'm talking about 50, 60 people. They didn't make it to see 40. So, that's just the reality of the situation. If you did make it to see 40, then alhamdulillah, it's a ni'mah, but, you're even closer, and you really don't know what time is coming, when it's coming. So we need to take these opportunities. We have to be proactive. We have to work and leave off that loser mentality of like sitting around and waiting for the revelation's done. Nothing else is like this. It's not coming out the sky anymore. It's like now we have to, we're held accountable for ourselves. We have the revelation. We have the Quran. We have the Sunnah. It's our duty is to go into the Quran and the Sunnah and learn what we have to do. And do those things. We don't wait for orders to come from anybody else. We just do them. And if we all worked and started doing like that, alhamdulillah. Think of how beautiful the situation. Look at all the communities, in America, and all the problems that we have in every community throughout America. And think if everybody was just busy just doing that. Everybody racing each other to see who could do more, who could outdo his brother, but in a good competition, a competition for good, not in the competition of jealousy, not in the competition of, oh, he's got this, I ain't got this, not this. This is sickness of the hearts, but in the competition of like who can outdo his brother in righteousness. Imagine if we all did that. Imagine the state that we'd be in right now as a ummah, if all of our communities had that same type of mindset, because that's a winner's mindset. That's a winner's mindset. That you want for your brother what you want for yourself. What's the hadith? لا يؤمن
حتى يحب لأخيه حتى يحب لأخيه حتى ما يحب لنفسه.
لا يؤمن أحدكم حتى يحب لأخيه ما يحب لنفسه. So you don't, the person does not believe. Now, obviously, this is not talking about mutlaq al-iman. This is talking about al-iman al-mutlaq. What does that mean? You know? What? Explain it.
Like, for example, if someone does it, he's still a mu'min. Like, he's not like,
He has the basics, the essentials of iman. That's mutlaq al-iman. So he can get the title of mu'min based on, he has the bare essentials. That's it. But the iman al-mutlaq is what?
complete iman.
Yeah, his iman is complete. He's the one that tries to do all the things. He tries his best to carry out all the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Everything that Allah has commanded him, he tries to do it. All the prohibitions, he's staying away from it. This is the mu'min, iman al-mutlaq. And that's what we strive to be, because we all got the mutlaq al-iman. We all got the bare essentials, we can get the Iman ID card, but to like really get into that elite club of mu'mineen, the real believers, then no, we have to have that type of mindset. It's got to be a mindset, that the mindset does not exist amongst these kuffar. If our mindset and the mindset of the kuffar is the same, what are we doing? We're losing, akhi, because you think that we're gonna see. The thing about it is, you got to understand with the Muslims. You take the mindset of the kafir. The kafir, Allah will give the kafir the dunya, but He's going to take it from us. So you see, like us, we're struggling. The kafir's not struggling, is he? Allah's giving him his dunya. He's giving it to him. He's not going to have anything in the next life. Well, so us, why would we waste our lives with this loser attitude, and then we have what? Nothing in this life, and nothing in the next life. No, we all have to work together. We have to work together to fix that, because this sickness is a sickness that we all share. And the only way to get rid of this sickness is what?
Go back to Islam.
Yeah, we all got to work together, but we all have to work together in righteousness and come together and, to learn the Quran, learn the Sunnah, learn what we have to do and work together to start doing this. Stop all the hatred. Stop all the this person, that person, this person, this. We have to stop this in all of our communities. Well, but we can't change what's going on over in these different areas. But we can at least change what we're trying to do here amongst ourselves. And even if it's just a handful of believers. Wallahi, a handful of believers can change the world. You can get a whole thousands and thousands of these liberal, college educated, shaking hands, like hanging out with the homo type people, they're not changing nothing, are they?
Nothing.
No, they're destroying the world. But you can take a handful of 5, 6, 7, 10 believers, and wallahi, they can shake this whole earth. Akhi. They can shake the earth. They put fear in the most, in the highest of places, and what are we doing? Sitting in the masjid, teaching the sunnah. What are we doing? Look at right now. Right now, you have, how many people are talking about what's going on now? And about the masjid, the classes and everything, around the different masajid.
Around the world.
What I'm saying, like right now in Fresno. And what are we doing? We're just sitting in the masjid, doing our thing. We're not out there raising chaos, protesting in the streets. We're sitting in the masjid, teaching, just trying to learn the Quran and the Sunnah, trying to practice it. Akhi, we don't care about leadership. We don't care about no high status with the people. We don't care about praise. All we're trying to do is just meet that condition. You mentioned the ayat yesterday. What is it?
Yesterday or 2 days before?
Was it yesterday or 2 days before?
Surah Al-Qasas. It was like 2 days ago.
Okay, go ahead.
تلك الدار الآخرة نجعلها للذين لا يريدون.
You gotta raise your voice up though.
تلك الدار الآخرة نجعلها للذين لا يريدون علوا في الأرض ولا فسادا والعاقبة للمتقين.
All right. So this is the Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling you. تلك الدار الآخرة. This is the home. This is the abode of the people for the next life. And who did He say that He made it for? He said, نجعلها للذين لا يريدون علوا في الأرض ولا فسادا. The people that don't seek to be raised up in the life of this world. They're not seeking like this high, lofty position and status. ولا فسادا, and they're not seeking corruption in the land. All they want to do is what?
Islah.
They're just trying, and what is Islah? It's Quran and Sunnah. They want to just practice their deen and be on this deen. And finish the ayah.
والعاقبة للمتقين.
وَالْعَاقِبَةُ لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. The aqiba, it means the what?
The good ending.
The final result. The final ending is for the muttaqeen. We might not live to see it in this life. We might not get it in this life. We might not be alive when Isa alayhi salam comes down and slaughters the Dajjal, and maybe our kids won't be here. But the aqibah lil-muttaqeen is in the day of judgment. And that's what we need to be preparing for. That's why I said leave that Mahdi mentality and focus on preparing for what's really, this is where the real aqibah is coming. The real final destination and the real results, because who's going to be the winners on that day?
The believers.
The believers. And we're not going to share, or not, hopefully but the believers aren't going to be sharing that victory with anybody else. Nobody else. The kuffar are going to be punished and tossed off into hellfire. The hypocrites, the people that came in through between the believers and tried to destroy everything, are going to be tossed off into hellfire. And then the fusaq from amongst us, there'll be ones that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgives, and there'll be others that will be tossed off into hellfire for a small period of time until they're purified of their sins, and then they'll be allowed to enter into Jannah once they're purified. What's up?
Imagine that the hypocrites في الدرك الأسفل من النار.
Yeah, and they're in the lowest pit. في الدرك الأسفل من النار. All right, so this is the lowest pit because in the Jannah, there's levels going up. So if the levels are going up, it's called darajat. Hum darajatun inda Allah. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said they have levels of like honor with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because their levels are going up. But when you dig a pit and you dig it, the levels going down, this is called darakat. So where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that the munafiquna fi darak al-asfali min al-nar, that they are in the lowest level of the pit of hellfire. They're in the lowest pit. Why? You see that they're even lower than the regular kuffar. Why?
They did more evil than...
Because they have no excuse. They were with the believers. They acted like the believers. Sat with the believers. Where the kuffar, they're over there, they just hate on Islam. But you know what I'm saying? Their kufr is clear. But these guys, because of their trickery and deceit with the believers, that they deserve the worst of all punishments. And they get the worst of all punishments. So this is things, and then the last ayah that we talked about with the, إِلَّا مَنْ أَتَى اللَّهَ what? The qalbin salim. The only people that are going to get in the Jannah are the people that go to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with a heart that's at peace. And that heart has to be at peace, which means you cannot be carrying, just like what the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said in the hadith of Abu Hurairah radhiyallahu anhu. What he said? He said, Al-Muslim, Akhul Muslim, La yadlimuhu, wa la yahqiruhu, وَلَا يَخْضُرُهُ. You're carrying these types of things in your heart. And he said the Muslim is the brother of another Muslim. It's not permissible for us to say anybody else is our brother. إِنَّمَا الْمُؤْمِنُونَ إِخْوَةٌ فَأَصْلِحُوا بَيْنَ أَخَوَيْكُمْ. Right? Okay. I just want to come out something random, you gotta double check. So yeah, إِنَّمَا الْمُؤْمِنُونَ إِخْوَةٌ. Only the Muslims are brothers to each other. Kafir's not your brother. Again, we talked about this before. We don't have brotherhood based on race. We don't have brotherhood based on tribalism. We don't have brotherhood based on former gang affiliations or anything. All that stuff is done. And just like the Prophet ﷺ said, and I mentioned this in the khutbah, he said, كُلُّ أَمْرٍ مِنْ جَاهِلِيَّةٍ تَحْتَ قَدَمَيَّ مَوْضُوعٍ. Where the Prophet ﷺ said, all the affairs of Jahiliyyah and all these affairs of we make our alliances on what? We make our alliances on race, or because of family connections, or because of tribal things, or because of affiliation, like street affiliations. What is this? Is this Islam or is this Jahiliyyah? It's Jahiliyyah. And he said, all the affairs of Jahiliyyah are underneath my 2 feet, are placed underneath my 2 feet. You understand? So it's over. And anybody that calls the Jahiliyyah, then he's going to be in the fire. Well, he's going to be deserving of the fire. It's up to Allah whether he wants to forgive him or not. But he's going to be deserving of the fire. Anybody that, tries to revigorate that Jahiliyyah, no, we don't take pride in anything. All of us, we have we have our previous lives and we have things, but that's over. We're now working for this deen. We're working for this brotherhood, and we're working to establish the Quran and the Sunnah, and we're working towards something way greater than what you worked for before. Go back and look in the streets and look at the people that you used to hang with. We rode around, right? He said, this fulan. And what's their situation now? How they look now? Messed up, they're losers. Drug addicts, homeless people. Look, one of the biggest gangbangers in Los Angeles, how did he die? Monster, how did he die? He died of an overdose, homeless in a tent in Los Angeles. One of the biggest, most feared gangbangers in Los Angeles. this? This is what you want to, this is not something that we take pride in. We don't take pride in anything. We're humble as far as Islam, but this is something that we protect. This is us. This is our lifestyle. This brotherhood is what we protect. So here the Prophet ﷺ said, Al-Muslim akhul Muslim, la yaghlimuhu. So the Muslim is a brother of another Muslim. He doesn't oppress him. Wa la yahqiruhu. And he doesn't what?
Doesn't belittle him.
Doesn't belittle him and despise him. Wa la yakhdhuluhu. And whenever he's in need, no, but al-khudlan, it means that you don't come to his assistance. So these are things that we don't do. We don't oppress another Muslim. We don't oppress anybody, even a kafir. We don't oppress a kafir. But we don't, but وَلَا يَظْلِمُهُ وَلَا يَحْقِرُهُ, and he doesn't despise him and look down on him and belittle him, and he doesn't what? And he doesn't leave him in his time of need. He doesn't abandon him in his time of need. It doesn't matter what personal situations that you have. We're going to have personal situations amongst each other. That's just normal. But he's your brother. At the end of the day, if you see him, 2 or 3 kuffar jumping on your brother, you're just going to sit there and say, oh, no, that brother, I don't like him, or he didn't give me salams yesterday. What are you going to do? No, you're going to go protect your brother. Protect him. It's your brother. At the end of the day, whatever personal situations we have, that's personal. This is deen. And the deen is the precedence. Fulfilling the rights of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we talk about this all the time. We're working to fulfill the rights that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has over us first and foremost. And this is the masjid. This is debatable. This is, in the masajid lillah. All of the masajid are for who? They belong to Allah. So this place is a place of fulfilling the rights that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has over us. And then after we fulfill those rights, to also look at the rights that our brothers and our parents and other people have over us, because people have rights over us. Your neighbor has rights over. But the first thing you have to fulfill is those rights that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has over you first. And that's what we have to come together. And we have to work and be proactive in doing that. Not sitting back and waiting for the, things that, the answer to, the answer's already come out the sky. If you're waiting for the answer to come out the sky, alhamdulillah, the greatest book, the Al-Furqan, the book that came and was sent down to separate between all of the truth and falsehood. It made all the truth clear. It made all the falsehood clear. The Quran. And then we have what? Wal hikmah. The wisdom. Which is the what?
The sunnah.
Well, this is the sunnah. We have something that nobody, no people have ever been given on the face of all of creation from Adam alayhi salam until now. Nobody has what we have. And wallahi, if you're not thankful for that, what happens? Allah will remove you and give it to somebody else. What is it? We're all just one step away from falling on our faces every single day of our lives. So it's just we have to be thankful. We have to be thankful and we have to work together, put personal differences aside and work, because the deen is way more important than all our little personal bickering and personal differences. We're going to have that. We're all different cultures. Well, what did we talk about? Why did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala create us different cultures? We talked about this a couple nights ago.
We learn from each other.
Yeah, لِتَعَارَفُوا. Get to know each other. Learn about each other. You don't have to like everything about another person, but you understand that these are just quirks that the person has, and you deal with it. He's your brother. In the end, he says La ilaha illallah. He prays in the masjid. He's fasting in Ramadan. You're going to sit here and be like all frowny face with your brother, smiley face with a kafir who hates the deen, hates the Prophet, doesn't believe in the Quran and the Sunnah, doesn't believe in the last days. How you going to be? We're going to smile with our brothers regardless. Whatever personal differences we have. And with the kuffar, they're going to get the difference. They get the frowny face. Except for dawah purpose. Obviously, when you're giving dawah, smile and, but, when we show that aggression and we show like our strength, we show that to the who? We show that to the kuffar. We don't act weak in front of the kuffar. But we act, we have that humility and humbleness with our brothers. And what's the ayat in the Quran? Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu. من يرتد منكم عن دينه فسوف يأتي الله بقوم يحبهم ويحبونه أذلة على المؤمنين عزة على الكافرين يجاهدون في سبيل الله ولا يخافون لومة لائم. So here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, "O you who believe, من يرتد منكم عن دينه, whoever turns back on his deen, and turns around and goes off in the other direction, and he leaves off the deen. He says, "So فَيَأْتِ اللَّهُ بِقَوْمٍ." And so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will come with another people. يُحِبُّهُمْ وَيُحِبُّونَهُ. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves them, and they love Him. And we talked about this muhabba before. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves them, it's because of what?
They love Him.
Because of their obedience to Him. Because they're carrying out the commands and they're staying away from the prohibitions. Because وَيُحِبُّونَهُ. And that they love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So their love with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is their obedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. أَذِلَّةً عَلَى الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. What does that mean?
Humble to the believers.
Yeah, they're humble and they act weak. Adilla, it means that you act like like you act real low, like real weak. But you act like that with the believers. An aggressive attitude and aggression is not for the believers. Doesn't matter what personal issues we have. We put that to the side. This is La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. It's way more important than anything in this dunya. So he said, Adillatan ala al-mu'mineen, a'izzatan ala al-kafirin. The izzah, the might, the power, the strength, the aggression. For who?
Disbelievers.
For the disbelievers, not for the believers. You don't come up in the masjid, no, we don't do that. We're humble with each other. We're trying to help each other and stay in the service of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through helping our brothers. And he said after that, عَزَّةً عَلَى الْكَافِرِينَ يُجَاهِدُونَ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ. They fight in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَلَا يَخَافُونَ لَوْمَةَ لَائِمٍ. And they don't fear what the people say about them. All the criticism, and you guys are this, and you guys are severe, you're mutashaddid, and you guys are Wahhabis, and you guys are, what's the other stuff, Daesh, and whatever the lies that they make up about us, let them say whatever they want to say. We're just going to, and لَا يَخَافُونَ لَوْمَةَ لَائِمٍ. They don't fear this. But why? Why don't we fear this?
Because we're hoping in the mercy of Allah.
We're doing our actions for Allah. We're not doing it for the people. When you do actions for the people, you're concerned about what the people are saying about you. What the people are saying. Okay, if you're doing that action for Allah, what? You could care less what the people say. You know what? Who cares what they say? You go and you do what you know is right, what's in the Quran and the Sunnah, and let the people run their mouths all they want. We're going to find out who was right and who was wrong on the Day of Judgment. And that's it. And as long as you're doing things in accordance to the Quran and the Sunnah, إِلَّا مَنْ أَتَى اللَّهَ what? بِقَلْبٍ سَلِيمٍ. Inshallah, you meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with that heart of peace. The heart of peace. Alright. So, after we went over the hadith about the two blessings, take advantage of these two blessings when you have them. And use the opportunity to get close to Allah. Be a thankful servant in the manner that you saw the Prophet ﷺ being a thankful servant. Stand up and pray at night, even if it is just a little. Now that we have seen the greatness of tahajjud and the reward for the one who does it, we need to focus now on the issues pertaining to this act of worship, so we can do it in accordance to the Quran and the Sunnah. So let me see. We'll probably get like maybe one or two issues done, and then what's up?
I'm gonna get all the brothers to move back a little bit and you move forward. Because the sun is in face, and we're not being able to pick you up. Everybody move back. One line, inshallah.
Sorry for the people on live stream, but you know the time. So, yeah. Well, you want me to move over here or something?
No, just go all the way close, like in the middle.
Yeah.
Just go right
Yeah,
there.
right there. The sun's out there. All right, issue number 1. What is the best time to pray tahajjud?
Last third of the night.
The last third of the night. What's your dalil?
Lead is Allah comes down last third of the night, and he will like مَنْ يَدْعُونِي فَاسْتَجِيبَ لَهُ. Like, who will call upon me and I will respond to him. When يَسْتَغْفِرُونِي أَغْفِرْ لَهُ. Like who seeks my forgiveness, I will forgive him. And
من يستجيبني فاستجيب له ومن يسألني فأسأل. No, you're right. فأعطيه ومن يستغفرني فأغفر له.
yeah. And who will ask me and I will give him. And then during the time of Fajr, obviously, Allah is not on the last third of the night.
All right, so the last third of the night. The best time to pray this prayer is the last third of the night. This is the time that Allah descends to the lowest heaven in a manner that befits His majesty and greatness. And Allah asked the people of this world 3 questions. And of course I said in a manner that befits His majesty and greatness. To basically do what? What am I trying to do here? Because some people, you have people when we deal with the names and attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they as soon as you say like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala descends, they automatically, their mind goes to what? Oh, like I descend the staircase? No. Yeah, Allah descends in a manner that is in accordance to His greatness and majesty. How Allah descends, we don't know. That's not even our job to know. So we can't compare this to the descending of like a human. So what do these misguided cretins do? Is that they take the just these types of these attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, like descending. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks. So well, humans talk, so Allah can't talk. So the talking must mean something else. Allah descends and we descend. So this descending, it must mean something else. And then they change the meaning from يحرفون الكلمة and ush and بعض مواضعه. They take and they change the word, they change the meaning, and they just try to give it another meaning that doesn't have the meaning of the Arabic language. And of course, we know that this is who was famous for doing this with the previous books?
The Christians.
Shia.
No, the Jews. The Jews are the ones that changed their books. All right, so this is exactly what they follow. They follow in that same, because even the Jews changed the Christians' books. So, so the point is that they're following in that same, that same pattern of trying to change the meanings, because they can't change the Quran. So what do? They try to change the meaning. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says He has a hand. So no, brother, that doesn't mean a hand. That means it means strength. It means ni'mah. It means that He gives blessing. No, it means that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has a hand. But does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have a hand like we have a hand? No. لَيْسَ كَمِثْلِهِ شَيْءٌ وَهُوَ السَّمِيعُ الْبَصِيرُ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, there is nothing like Him, nothing. You can't. There's nothing that you can imagine in your mind that is like Allah. وَهُوَ السَّمِيعُ الْبَصِيرُ. And even after Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that there's nothing like Him, what did He do after that? Then He gave two names and attributes. That He's the all-hearing and all-seeing. Which they say, no, He can't see because seeing we humans see, so the same type of foolishness. So yeah, this is why it's important to learn learn the correct aqidah. Because these people, they come, and who do they target? Do they target students of knowledge? Do they come to people like me? I remember one time they were there. There's a Tablighi guy that came to our house in Jacksonville. And I didn't talk to him. I was talking to my kids in Arabic, because I always speak to my kids in Arabic. And he was like, he said, you learn Arabic. I said, yeah, a little bit, just enough to, conversate, just to converse with my kids. He said, oh, nice. He said, I was in Yemen. He's telling me this. He said, oh, you were in Yemen, nice. Where were you? And I didn't tell him anything. I'm just quiet. And I said, I lived in Yemen for a little bit. And he starts to try to give me his little tablighi dawah, right? So then he said, so how long were you in Yemen? I said, me? 15 years. He said, and he's like, 15 years. He said, what were you doing? I'm cooking at the time, trying to get food ready for them because we're breaking our fast that night. And so I'm, cooking. He's talking to me in the kitchen. And I was like, I went there to study hadith. And then, Allah, if you saw his face change, what do you think his face did?
Like pale.
Yeah, and he walked right out the kitchen. He didn't even say salam alaikum. Were you there? Were you in the kitchen? You saw it. Okay, well, he just walked straight out the kitchen and said, let me go to another stupid person so I can talk to him. Let me find somebody that will actually listen to my stupidity. Because I'm not, he knows, once you say, he was studying hadith for all those years in Yemen, no, we're not going to deal with him. What are we going to go to? They go to the ignorant people and they try to teach the people this foolishness. This is the importance of us learning the correct deen, learning the deen correctly. That's your protection. These people come and they try to try to teach you all this false stuff. Allah doesn't have this, Allah doesn't speak, Allah is everywhere, and all this other stuff, And then you ask them about, how many times did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say, Thumma stawa ala al-arsh? How many times? At least 7 times in the Quran did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mention that He ascended over the arsh. 7 times. And then we have all the other different adillah that show that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is above His creation. Allah does not mix with His creation. Why would Allah, with all of His greatness and majesty, why would He want to mix with us? You understand? But then they say, no, Allah is everywhere. So you say, oh, Allah is in the bathroom. And what do they say? Oh, so Allah is in this dog. Allah is in, what about this pig in the pigsty? You're saying Allah is everywhere. This is evil. But again, this goes back to the importance of seeking knowledge. Get knowledge of this deen, get knowledge of the correct aqidah, the aqidah of Ahl Sunnati wal Jama'ah. So this way you have that protection when people come to you. You have like body armor. You got nothing can go through that armor. And then then you'll see the people, they won't even try to argue with you because they're going to go to who? They're going to try to find them ignorant people that they can lead astray. Whereas as Ahl Sunnah, when the people of the Sunnah, what do they try to do? We're not trying to look for followers, akhi. I want you guys to come up, learn this deen, and go out and teach and be leaders in the community. I don't want you to be followers. We're not trying to raise people up like this. This is not, this is not what this is about. This is not preacher man time. This is I want everybody to learn as much of the deen so you can go out and you can teach the people the correct deen, the correct aqidah. You will be leaders every masjid that you go to, where the people look at us and they look at us with reverence and esteem. Look at those guys over there. They don't take no BS, right? That's the way we gotta be. Go out and just do it. We're not trying to raise a masjid full of followers. Learn your deen, learn it correctly. I'm not gonna hold nothing back. I'm gonna learn everything, inshallah. Everything that you need to know, I'm going to teach. I'm not going to sit there you try to hide stuff from myself so I can always be smarter. I want y'all to be smarter than me. I want you to surpass me. Because if the brothers here, if this brother or any of my son or whoever who goes overseas, seeks knowledge, comes back more knowledgeable than me, did I fail? That's success. That's huge success. But if I leave this community and everybody doesn't even know the ABCs of Tawheed, and the community can't even function with knowledge, that's a failure. That's failure. You understand? So we're trying to raise the people up. These jokers, all they're looking for is what?
Followers.
Bolster their following. That's because they care about numbers. We don't care about numbers. I told you, 5, 6, 10 people from Ahl Sunnah, boy, we could change the world. We could change the world, but we could have everybody talking about us if we just stay on our deen and do the things that we're supposed to be doing. And not be foolish, we could change the world. But trust me, all these other people running around just trying to get followers, they got all the followers, all the money, and what do they got? Nothing. In the end, nothing. Nothing to benefit Islam. Only benefits them, that group. Now we're trying to benefit the Muslims and protect the Muslims. I don't know how I got on that rant. It's Ramadan, dude. SubhanAllah. I'm going to be ranting and raving all day today. SubhanAllah. Yeah, that's what Shaykh al-Islam, well, I've been reading the Majmu' al-Fatawa, so maybe that's part of it. Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah, he'll go, and he'll just shoo. But it's beneficial, though. It's not like he'll just go off on a tangent on nothing. Yeah, he'll bring it back, and he'll come back, and But you just be like, wait, how did we get here? Wait, you know what I'm saying? Get the Google Maps, where are we at now? Almost done. All right, so what is the best time? So, Hadathana al-Qa' Nabi. All right, so we said that the last 3 nights, the last third of the night, we can see this in the following hadith in the Sunan Abi Dawood. Hadathana al-Qa' Nabi and Malik and Ibn Shihab. Malik here is who?
Malik? Oh, Malik,
Malik ibn Anas, the Imam Malik. All right, and Malik and Ibn Shihab and Abi Salamata and Ibn Abdul Rahman and Abdullah al-Aghar. عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال ينزل ربنا تبارك وتعالى كل ليلة إلى سماء الدنيا حين يبقى ثلث الليل الآخر. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, our Lord, He descends in the last third of the night into the Sama' dunya, to the lowest heaven, which is the heaven before you go into the dunya. Alright. حين يبقى ثلث الليل الآخر, at the last third of the night. فَيَقُولُ مَنْ يَدْعُونِي فَاسْتَجِيبُ لَهُ. And who's going to supplicate to me so I can answer his supplication? مَنْ يَسْأَلُنِي فَأُعْطِيَهُ. And who's going to ask me so I can give him? مَنْ يَسْتَغْفِرُونِي فَأَغْفِرُ لَهُ. And who's going to seek my forgiveness? So we both got it wrong, don't worry. I told you. Alright, فَأَغْفِرُ لَهُ. And who's going to seek my forgiveness so I can forgive him? Alright, and this is in the last third of the night. So standing up in prayer in the last third of the night was also the practice of Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as we can see in the following hadith عن عائشة رضي الله عنها أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم كان ينام أول الليل ويقوم آخره فيصلي. This hadith is in Bukhari and Muslim, where the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم used to sleep at the earliest part of the night, and he will wake up at the last part of the night. All right, what time is it? Is that the clock?
6:54.
All right, we'll finish this up. Let's finish this issue and we'll wrap it up, inshallah. All right. However, Aisha also reported that the Prophet ﷺ would pray at different times throughout the night. Sometimes in the first part of the night, sometimes in the middle portion of the night, but most of the times in the latter part of the night. We can see this in the following hadith. And Aisha radiallahu anha قالت من كل الليل قد أوتر رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم من أول الليل ومن أوسطه ومن آخره وانتهى وتره إلى السحر. متفق عليه. So in this hadith we see that Aisha radiallahu anha, she reported that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he used to pray witr, and of course witr is the wrapping up of what?
The night prayer.
Of the night prayers. So she said he used to pray it at different times. Sometimes he would pray it. He prayed it in the first part of the night. He prayed it in the middle of the night, and he prayed it in the last part of the night. You know, but he would always finish. He would always finish it before what? Before the dawn prayer, before the Fajr prayer. Yes. But his habit of when he used to pray the most of the time was in the last third. All right, we can conclude from this. We can conclude from this hadith that the person prays whenever it is easy and convenient for him to pray. If he prays at the beginning of the night before he goes to bed, that is fine. If he wakes up in the last third of the night and prays, that is much better. All of the times are from the Sunnah. However, the best time to stand in prayer is the last third of the night. All right, any questions about that?
Is there anything you recite in witr, or is just like mantra?
سبح اسم ربك الأعلى يا أيها قل يا أيها الكافرون قل هو الله أحد. Yeah, that's what the Prophet ﷺ used to recite nightly. Yes, those three. That's the most authentic narration.
So is it a recital like something he recites after a Fatiha, and then that's what he recites?
You're talking about for the witr,
Witr, yeah.
the last three rak'ahs. If you were like,
There is 3 rakats, isn't it?
yeah, but it's the wrapping up of the prayer. But you can just pray witr alone. You don't have to pray the night prayer. You know, you can also pray witr. In fact, witr was so much of a part of a Muslim's life that Imam Ahmed was famous for what?
You wouldn't accept the testimony of someone who leaves it off.
If the person did not pray witr, he would not accept his testimony. So if he said, I saw him still, and he was known that this person did not pray witr, he said, go away, we're not going to accept it from you. Yeah. What's up?
And the brother said we pray witr like Maghrib. Is it?
No, you pray two
and one.
Pray 2 and then 1. And if you're strapped for time, if you look up, like maybe you got up late and you say, oh my God, it's like 5 minutes to go before they call the adhan, you can just pray one rak'ah. Just say, Qul huwallahu ahad.
I've heard people speak against that, because witr means odd, but I've heard some people say you can't say 1 rak'ah.
No, you can pray just 1 rak'ah.
That's what it means, odd.
Yeah, the thing is, it has to be witr. It has to be, you have to complete the night with that. You are praying 1 rak'ah at the end. Because you're praying 2, you're 2 into taslim, and you're standing up and you're praying 1 rak'ah.
Oh, I didn't know how to do it, so you have to pray 2, taslim.
That's the way that the Prophet prayed it, yeah. You know, and that's a hadith, and it's coming up, inshallah, it's going to come soon. Where Aisha, radiallahu anha, she mentioned
So
about...
it's not like Maghrib.
No, she said that the prayer of the Prophet kana mathna. He used to pray 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, and then he would finish it off with the 1.
Oh, wow, that's wow.
So you just stand up, the last rak'ah, you just, not the last rak'ah, that 1 rak'ah, you do taslim, after you do the
Stand up and make 1 rak'ah?
Fatiha and Surah Al-Ikhlas. And that's it. So all of these issues, inshallah, we're going to be covering.
That's, because I people say witr, I've always thought just 3.
Should I give you a preview of what's coming?
No, we have a couple of questions, please.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, so when you do Tarawih, say we do Tarawih in the mosque, we do the weekend, right? So I go home and I do Tahajjud.
No, once you're done witr, that's it.
That's it, okay.
As the Prophet ﷺ said, "Ij'al akhira salatakum min al-layli witr." That you make the last prayer of your night witr. So once you pray witr, that's it. That's your last prayer of the night.
So
You don't pray again until Fajr.
So you do the 8 rak'ah
rakats here, and you go home.
You can go home and pray, like, you can do the 8 here, pray at night, the 3. We used to do that when we, in the haram, remember? Because they used to pray 20. So we would just pray the 8 and leave, and then go home and pray the witr like later on that night. Because we didn't want to pray the 20 when we were in Mecca, so we just go pray 8, and they keep praying, and we go home and pray witr. Yeah.
في مسجد الرحمن اللي كنت بقول لك يعني نحن نصلي هنا كانوا لا شيء بكمكن قلنا أنا كنا نصلي في مكان مش أنا ما كنا نجيب ذاك الوقت يعني كان يصلي في وقت طويل كان الصلاة كان يقولون يا إما آية طويلة أو شيء مثل هذا فالصلاة كان التراويح كانوا لا شيء بمكة.
Well, the sisters have a question asking about Ramadan being divided into 3 portions, the first 10, the middle 10, and the third 10. Can you explain what the 3 portions of Ramadan is?
The hadith is da'if.
Of the 10 days?
The hadith is not authentic anyways.
I expressed that, but.
No, I mean, there's no explanation because the hadith is not authentic. I know the hadith that you're talking about, but the hadith is not authentic. You could check it. It's no. I know the hadith you're talking about, but no, it's not. I don't know if I mentioned that in here. I'd
So
probably.
there's no last 10 days of power?
No. The last 10 nights are the best 10 nights. So you have the best.
Maybe they're confused.
No.
That's
The last 10 nights of Ramadan are the best 10 nights on the face of this earth. And the 10 days, the first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah are what? The best 10 days. So you have these 10 nights and those 10 days. That's where you got to get it in. If you're like lazy and you sitting around just eating sambusas and shurba and all this type of stuff and shafut and pizza and whatever, in the last 10 nights, boy, that's when you tighten that belt up, and you can get the Folgers coffee going or whatever you got to do. And you just got to put the work in, so these are the nights. That's it, man. This is where everything that you're doing right now in Ramadan, consider it like training for the main event. And that main event is those 10 nights, where you're going to be fighting an opponent every single night. And right now you got these 20 days to get ready to just put in all that work. And that's what you're doing. You're just building up to those last 10 nights. So, you got to, that's no joke. That needs to be taken seriously. But there's no 10 nights on the face of this earth that have the importance of those 10 nights. And there's no 10 nights that you can get the forgiveness that you can get on those, except for on those 10 nights. I mean, you got one night where the worship is the equivalent to what?
1,000 months.
1,000 months of worship.
And you don't know which one it is.
And you don't know which one it is, so you pray every single night, and then you don't even have to doubt about it. See, the people that are like, I hope I got Laylatul Qadr. I hope I got Laylatul Qadr. You know who the person who's saying that? The person who's not saying that? The person who stood up and prayed every single night because he knows he got Laylatul Qadr. He doesn't even have to worry about it. He just hopes that he put in that maximum effort on Laylatul Qadr. But as far as actually praying on that night, he knows he did it. But he doesn't know the effort. Like maybe one night I was a little tired, got a little lazy, that might have been Laylatul Qadr. But at least you know you got something in. But you want to try to put the maximum effort out. Get your juicer, start drinking some carrot juice and start doing something. Get all that energy saved up for those last 10 nights.
So are we going to be doing it here? Like
I think it's
it's going to be like here, brother, it's going to be like secluded, or how's that going to work? I don't know how to do it. What we're supposed to be doing.
We're going to be praying at night, inshallah. The last 10 nights, probably from 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock all the way.
Non-stop?
We're going to stop. Like maybe after like 4 rakats, people, if they want to go get some coffee, go to the bathroom or whatever, other than that. But even that, we probably won't even stop because we don't have to. Because if we're praying like 10, 15 pages in every rak'ah, you have time to go to the bathroom, come back and still catch the first rak'ah. So that's not an issue. You have time probably to go get a small snack, drink a cup of coffee, and come back and still catch the first rak'ah. So that's the real deal. That's it, man. Focus on the actions to separate what? Focus on the actions to separate what? The men from the boys, and the real believers from the Halloween costume wearing people, No, not the disbelievers, but I mean the real believers, because you know these brothers are believers. We talked about it. You have mutlaq al-iman and you have al-iman al-mutlaq. But these are the points where you see the difference. You know, because everybody, like the people that just have the basic iman, they just want to like get it over quickly. But the real believers, now they want to stand up. They want to feel some pain. They want to, you know, they want to like feel like they really did something. And you come out, like I said, when you come out of Ramadan, you got nothing left in the system. It's all gone. You left it, and you have to recover after Ramadan. And that's how, you know, every year after Ramadan, what happens? We sit in the bed for like a week, don't we? Huh? I know I do. Every year, like once Ramadan, I got the energy for Eid. I got to go out in Jacksonville, give the football for Eid, and then maybe the next 4 or 5 days I'm in bed. And we left all that stuff. We left it all on the table. And then we get back to work again. You know, that's how you got to do it, man. This is no joke. You know, because you can die in those last 10 nights. Boy, you die on that type of worship. Alhamdulillah. Let's go get ready to break our fast, huh?